Everyone. How are you doing today? You are welcome to day 17, week 4 of Good Success Summer Tech Skill Academy 2026. Day 17 of Good Success Summer Tech Skill Academy 2026. Taiwo Makinde is my name. Today, we are considering using ChatGPT for schoolwork. And before now, yesterday we talked about what is ChatGPT. And basically, this week we are looking at the AI tools and smart internet use. That is what we are considering this week. And yesterday we talked about what is ChatGPT, what is artificial intelligence, so to say. Consider the brief history, how it actually works. That it's neither does it think like a woman or is it magic. It's not a magic. It works on model. It works on model or machine learning, so to say. And how ChatGPT learns and responds, simplify how it learns and how it responds to whatever question. And the analogy that ChatGPT has not performed any experiment a woman does or can do. So even ChatGPT, if it's wrong, it will sound confidence. Because that's not its fault. It's based on what was feeded into it. So that's how it works. And in everyday life, so it is what it has comes to stay. And it's not a distant technology, it's what we use on daily life. And anyone that is not using it, to facilitate his or her work, then is behind. So that is that about and the misconception about the AI as coming to take another person's job. No, it only takes the job of people that do not know how to use AI. So today using ChatGPT for schoolwork. So basically, it's talked about today is meant for the students, whatever level you are, secondary, higher institution, that's using it. What are those things that we need to know when we are using it for our work? So everything shall be discussed here. Now let's look at the objective of today's lesson. Number one, the student will access ChatGPT or Gemini on their phone, write effective prompts that produce useful academic content, and understand the difference between using AI as a tool versus submitting AI work as their own. That is as yours. That is using it as a tool or submitting everything that AI has done, just direct like that without editing it, without adding your own idea. So let's talk about assessing AI tools in Nigeria. So ChatGPT is made by OpenAI. So if you type www.openai.com, it will take you to where you have access to ChatGPT, and it's accessible to openai.com. I've mentioned it. So it's free to use with a registered account. Probably Gmail account, and Gemini is a Google AI assistant. So accessible at gemini.com.google.com. So it's free with a Google. If you have Google account, so that your Gmail, if you open it, so we see your Gemini there. Both Gemini and ChatGPT, they work on it on a smartphone browser. So you don't need to download the app, or you can, if you need it, you can download it. So although the app are available, but if you don't really want to download, you can access it online via a browser. Like so. Now, the data conservation or consumption about ChatGPT and the Gemini, they are not app that consume data as such. No, because basically they are text based and they use very little mobile data, or meg as you guys to call it, or sub as you guys to call it. So it's far less than watching a 30 seconds video, what we are going to use. So because in fact, if you don't involve in any graphics work, so your data will not be consumed. So it use a minimum amount of data. So say 50 to 100 kilobytes. So this makes them very accessible for any work you want to do, any academic work. So you know how to spend much of your data before you can get it done. And if you don't go for conversion, maybe converting to MS Word or whatever, if it's just text, so you are sure that with minimum data you achieve more using ChatGPT. So let's look at the art of prompting now. That is very important aspects of using AI assistant tool. Prompting, that giving instruction. A prompt is the text you type into an AI tool. That is the instruction, the question, your search or whatever you want it to do. That's the prompt. So the quality of the prompts, of the AI's response is based entirely on on the quality of the prompt you give it. Yes, if you give in good prompt, then the output will be what? Will be okay. Then poor prompts produce generic or unhelpful responses. That is what anybody can just have, at least even what a layman can just have. So you give you just write what's a noun. It will give you the generic definition that everybody knows. But if you prompt in such a way that you have the particular definition that you want, it will give you that based on the pattern it has learned, as we discussed yesterday. So well-crafted prompts produce specific, useful, appropriate level content. So for instance, now you want to talk about force now in physics now, and you want to understand it like a primary two pupils. Just say explain the concept of force in physics to me, like a primary two pupil. It will explain to you that you will, even primary two pupil we get it. So that's it. But if you just say, oh, tell me more about force, it will tell you everything about. So that is the difference between the quality that's a good prompt and what and the poor one. So then prompting is already becoming what is a valuable workspace within what workspace in tech skill, in tech indoor tech industry. That is, some company they now are not advertised for what they call the profession called prompt engineering. There's a profession called prompt engineering in tech world. So and with high salary, that is those that can prompt AI correctly, and they don't have to prompt it in such a way that it will be accurate in the output. So is the other profession in AI what in tech world, as I've said. Now let's look at the anatomy of the strong prompt. Now a strong prompt has up to four components. Now number one, the role or the context of what you are looking for. Then the task, what do you want the AI to do? The format, how do you want the output to come out? Then the level at which, I talked about level the other time, that you want to teach first to primary 2, primary 4, so or SS2 or SS3 student, or even a university student. There's a level of what of this thing. So it has to be what has to be there. Now, as a teacher, now let's say for example, now that'll be role. So that's the role you want ChatGPT to serve as a teacher. That's the role. Explain the concept. That's what. So you are telling the ChatGPT, you are a teacher now for no. Explain the concept of Nigerian Civil War. That's the task in 5 bullet points. That's the format. Suitable for SS2 history students. You can see that. So that is a nice word prompt that it will do exactly. That is number one. ChatGPT will see self as a teacher that want to teach explain the concept or the causes of Nigerian Civil War. That's the task you want ChatGPT to explain. Then how, that's the format in a 5 bullet point, 5 points. It could be 10, it could be whatever, 5 bullet points. Then suitable for SS2 history student. History is being taught in primary school, in secondary school, even beyond. It's being studied as a course, as a course in university or institution. But the explanation, this one now wants ChatGPT to do it for SS2 students, and in a summary of 5 bullet points. That is it. So that is, you can follow that, see that the prompt. So if you want to give the prompt now, that's it. Just say you are a teacher, explain the concept or the causes of Nigerian Civil War in a 5 bullet points suitable for SS2 students, SS3 students. Fine. It is history. So you want to teach about possibly maybe if it's in government as well, it may be the concept of government, but this is what history. So now, if that is a very strong and prompt. But the weak one we say Nigerian Civil War, just simply Nigerian Civil War, and it bring all rubbish and jargons about Nigerian Civil War that you two cannot even read. But this one, in a 5 bullet point, it will summarize it that even if you go to the exam, you can write 10 pages about that 5 bullet because it has been summarized. So the strong prompt will produce content at the right level, that's SS2, the right format, that bullet point, the right focus, that is the course, not the full history. The course, not the full history of what happened in the Civil War. So that is how what prompt work. And I want you to follow that pattern whenever you want to prompt for anything. Number one thing is that you have to sit down and know what you want to do so that you know how to prompt correctly to AI. Now, let's look at the ethics now. The ethical AI use now. The ethical AI use. Let's look at the ethical AI use in academics. So, most importantly, the most important decision students you guys must understand is that there's difference between using AI as learning tools and using AI to avoid learning. Now, this is it. This is not just an ethical distinction. It's a practical one. Some students, they let me say, is it because of laziness or what I can call it? They don't learn like through what AI. No, they just do what they're supposed to learn. They give it to AI. They give it to AI to do for them, and they return the what they ask, the response like that to their teacher or lecturer. That is not good enough. Like the example I gave earlier about the civil war, the causes of Nigerian civil war now. Afterwards, the response of AI, you go through it to read it because AI will not be there to help you in exam. AI will not help you to help you in exam. So if you submit a word AI generated work without understanding it, so you will fail. And when you are tested orally or when it comes to exam, because even the AI does this for you, try and go through it because AI will not help you in exam. So it's very important that what you go through it and you humanize it, you normalize it or internalize it to your own. That this is, make it original, make it your own original. That this is my work by adding some things, removing some things. Look at this, for instance, this hyphen now. This is what how AI works, right? So then if you don't want that one, then you remove it so that it be as if it's normal, it's human being that writes it. So that's very important. Then the AI use was in academic now. Let's look at the acceptable and unacceptable one. Acceptable one now, you ask AI to explain a concept you do not understand. You ask AI to generate idea, then you develop them into your what? Yourself. Yes. You can ask any idea from AI. Even business idea you can ask it, but AI will not do it for you. You be the one to implement it. So AI will not do that one for you then. But it can give you the idea you don't even think of. AI can give you that, and then from there you can pick up. The AI give example, then you verify and paraphrase them. Give you example. I've told you, it could be wrong at time, but you verify those examples. So then use AI to check your grammar after writing yourself. Yeah, you can do a write up, then AI will check for you your grammar, your academic, and AI ask AI to quiz you on topics you are studying. Yes, it can quiz you to prepare for exam, even for interview. AI can do a mock interview for you. It will ask you a question, you will respond, then AI will tell you, we assess your response and tell you what, and help you, respond better. That perhaps that such question is asked, this is how you can answer it better. That's what AI do. As against unacceptable that you submit AI generated essay in your own or as your own work without even checking that, you cannot even defend. You copy AI answer directly into your own work without reading them. Then you use AI to do assignments. I know you are capable of doing yourself. What you can do yourself, just you push it to AI. That's one acceptable way of using AI. So, and it's academic dishonesty. So you use AI as academic dishonesty in that regard. But if you do the acceptable one, you use it as a learning tool. So then you let AI write your project and put your name on it. That's not too good. So use AI during an exam to answer question. That's exam malpractice. So that is not what the acceptable way or the ethical use of AI what in academics. So the steps about now, the steps or the three-step ethical AI rule now. Number one, read the word the AI response carefully. Do you understand every sentence? If you don't understand the sentence, then you can explain what understand the sentence. That is, can you explain the content in your own word? So if not, then go back and research further. That is what AI gives you. Can you explain it? Do you understand it? Do you understand it? So if you don't, you must read, understand, and write. You read, understand, and write. So RUR. That's the three steps ethical rules of AI. So you write the keyword, the key point entirely in your own word. Never copy paste AI text into academic work. No, you don't do that. You understand it so that because you be the one to defend it. At the end of the day, not AI will defend for you. So you be the one to defend. Then the next one is what is remember. That is, AI gives you raw material. Your brain process and gives its value. So skipping step 2 and 3 means you learn nothing. That is, if you don't understand, you don't write. If so, that's what it means. What you have learned nothing. You have learned nothing because if you don't understand and write, you can't remember. That is so certain. You don't understand, you don't write, you cannot remember. So not. But if the two steps what are being taken care of, then you have learned something. You have actually used AI as your learning tool. AI as your learning tool. So that is what the for today. That is a ethical way of using ChatGPT for schoolwork. Don't just rely on it solely. Please, you read, you understand, you rewrite, and then by that be able to remember. Even in exam, be able to remember. You can actually use ChatGPT to help your work, help your learning, but please use it in an acceptable way, not in not in unacceptable ways. Unacceptable way is what is termed as academic dishonesty. So academic dishonesty. That is that for today. So we shall meet tomorrow to continue the class where we'll be talking about AI for creativity and business. AI for creativity and business. Please like, subscribe to what we page at Go Success Schools. Like and what and comment the video. Thank you. See you tomorrow.